So hey everybody, today I have participated in educational Codeforces around 108 and I was able to solve 4 of them. So today we'll be discussing the first four problems and the solutions. Let's begin with the first problem. So the first problem is saying that we are given R red and B blue beans and we have to distribute them in such a way that the difference in the number of red and blue beans should be less than D, and that is the absolute difference. So what we can see here, that let me show you. So we are given R red beans and B blue beans and we have to distribute in some numbers, that like we are given two blue beans and two red beans, so we can distribute in like, and the difference, minimum difference would be, absolute difference would be 0. Then we can distribute it like 2 in the first packet and 2 in the second packet. Also we can distribute it like this: one in the first packet, one in the second packet, and one in the second packet and one in the second packet. Means this is red and the second one is blue. So this is a simple problem, implementation problem. So what we can do is we can just find the minimum and just subtract it for the red and the blue beans. After subtracting, we are just caring about the remainder. So what is the remainder? Because if we are distributing the red and blue beans in the minimum packets, means if the minimum is, suppose there is one red bean and four blue beans, so the minimum is like one. So we can distribute like one bean, one red and one blue bean in the first packet. So what we are left with is 0 blue red beans and 3 blue beans. After that we are just caring about the remainder that we have to distribute in the number packet. So after we are subtracting it, so we are just caring about the remainder, and the remainder should be distributed in the m packets. Means in m packet we have distributed in such a way that they have 0 absolute difference, and after that we are just distributing the remainder packets in that. And if that x is less than equal to d, so we have got an answer, and let's put yes or else no. So let's move on to the second problem. The cake is a lie. So here we are given n cross m grid, and we are set some condition like that if you are moving to the right, we will cost x bus, and if you are moving to the down, we will cost y bus. So x bus is like the row number and y bus is like the column number. so so we are given n and m and some value k, and you have to check if we can reach the row number n and column number m with exactly spending cables. So the solution is like this. First of all, I did not know about the solution, so I just find the minimum and the maximum value that can be spent uh, to reach the last cell of the grid. So here, for finding the the minimum, for finding the minimum cost, and here it is for finding maximum cost. After that we are just initializing the, this is the, what is it, this is like the first row, and this is like the first column. As we know that we know the value of the first row and the first column, so we can just initialize it with some values. After we initialize, we are just finding the minimum value for reaching any cell I and j and the maximum value. After I have seen that, after that after doing that, I've seen that the minimum value is equal to the maximum value, and there must be some formula for proving it. But at the time of contest, I was not thinking about the proof. So I just put it here that if the value is equal to the minimum or the minimum, then we just putting yes or no. So there is so this problem says that there is only one value for reaching the last cell. For the proof of the formula, you may, after the contest, the editorial will be published and we can see that the editorial is not yet published, I think so. No, not yet published. So this problem is like, see, and this took me much time, then the very much time, so I was stuck in here for a very long time, and I also submitted a wrong solution for this. So let's see what is given here and what's the solution of this. So we are taking U and S. U is the, what is U? U is the like the university name. Yes, university, and programming skill is the, so let me turn on the sound. I like this sound. So U is so U is the university belong, and S is the programming skill of the body. I'll call it body, programming body. So use the university and it belong, and S is the programming skill of the body. So after taking the inputs, we are just putting it in the map of vectors. As you don't know that which programming skill is belonging to which university, so we are just using a map to store that. After that, we are just sorting all the value in a particular university for a part. Sorting on the program, and this is just reversing it, means as we want the programming skill from in descending order, so we are just reversing it. After that, we are just calculating the prefix. Here it is just a prefix part, and after doing all this, so let me show you how it will look like. Let me show you how it will look like. So let me note the answer part. So so this will look like this: 19 for the sum of the first 4, for the sum of the first 3 it is 16, for the sum of the first 2 it is 11, and for the sum of the first 1 it is 6. Here just like this, for the sum of the first 4 it is like 11. What is it? It is 19, and the sum of first 3 it is like what is it, 16, and for the sum of the first 2, like 6 plus 5 it is like 11, and the first sum of first 1 is like 6. So after doing all this prefix sum, we are just putting the values in their corresponding indexes. So this is the answer array. So for every so we are iterating for every university. So for every university we are checking the programmer size. This is like the programmer size, and after we are done with it, then we are just taking for the current size. Current size is like I plus 1, because we are zero indexing here, and current size is like I plus 1, and the total size is the uh, programmer the number of programmers that are in the university. So total size is that, and the current size we know. So after doing that, we are just finding for every I, for every y, we are just finding the maximum index, the prefix sum we can add in that index. So for like I equal to 0, and the total size is like 4 first for the first university, the total size is like 4. And after for the first India, like we are studying here, so let this example and make you understand here. So 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 this is the first index. So the first index is like 1, and after, and we have total size is like 4 is 4. So for the first index, the number of programmers we can add in the answer array is like 4 divided by 1. It's like the 4 divided by 1. So this prefix we can add in array of position 1. So this prefix array we can add in answer array of position 1. So after that, we are at the second index. So for the second index, total size is like constant. So the farthest point we can get here is 4 divided by 2 into 2. So this is equal to 4. So again here, and this is here, it should be equal to 1. So this is the farthest position we are saying. D into current size. Current size is like the index. So here this 2 is the current size, and 4 divided by 2 is like the D, the total size of current size. So for this we can reach at the position 4. For third index, so for third index like 4 by 3 into 3. So the maximum position we can reach is like 3, and we are adding prefix at position 3 at answer position 3. So this is the basic implementation problem that we are seeing here. As the we are just iterating for the total size, because there is no point for iterating over 1 to n, because after some after getting at a position that is like greater than the total size, we that d, the total size by current size, will give d will give 0. Means let's suppose, so let's suppose you are iterating for 1 to n, and we are we are at some position p, and p is greater than here total size. So there is no point of going at that position, because after that the d value will be 0, because we are just adding nothing to the answer. So we are not going from 1 to n, and we are just iterating for the position in the university sizes. So this is the answer to the problem 3. Hope you have understood it. So let's move on to the problem D. Like problem D is the most easy problem I have seen. Actually, I mean that it took me very much less time to solve this as compared to the first three problems. It just took only me 20 on 25 20 or 25 minutes, like and it is very much simple and very much similar problem that I have solved before. So here what you are given, so here we one thing to notice that n is very much small. So what we can do is just dynamically memorize the every for every position for every I and j, we can just memorize the answer to that I and j and just calculate for every I and j. So for me, for saying I and j, what does I and j mean here? So so let me start from the very beginning. So we are taking the very much input I and then we are, so here what you are doing, that we are just calculating the prefix and suffix parts, and this is the important part because it will be what we will be using in the answer. So for now, for we have to calculate the minimum answer. What will be the minimum answer? Of course it will not be 0. And so minimum answer is like that we are not making any changes to the array a, and just that we are printing the answer. So it is the basic minimum answer. After that we are just wanting to maximize that answer. So what we can do is for every I and j is for we are fixing position. We are fixing position for the starting and the ending point that of the server that we want to reverse, and the start and the end. After that we are just doing that. So we are just fixing position for the start and then. So what about the rest part? So we are not changing anything to the left and the right of the start and the end. So we are just fixing that. So we are just adding the value of the to prefix part uh, of the answer and the prefix part suffix part of the end point, because after j plus 1 we are not changing anything, and now before I minus 1 we are, before or equal to I minus 1 we are not changing anything. So we are just adding the prefix part and the suffix part, and after that we are just reversing the I and j, means starting and the ending point that we have just fixed here. And for doing that we are just using recursion here. So here is the recursion part. So this is the very basic what do we say, that is the base, what do we say it, base, yes it is it base. After if I equal to j, so we are just left with only one index and we are just returning a of I into b of j. So suppose we are here at like I plus 1 is equal to j, so the two positions are adjacent to each other. So we are just a of j into b of I, means we are just multiplying the value of the first element with the value of the b of the second element, and value of the first a second element of the a with the first element of b. So here it is for 1 and it is for j, it is for one index and it is for two index, and for every other index we can just calculate it recursively. And what we can do here is like we every time we are just reversing, we are just not actually reversing the array, we are just, here it is like I dot j. So here we are just like the at position like this. So here we are just multiplying this. So let's suppose that is ai and it is bj, and this is like no, this is like aj, this is like bi and bj. So what we can see is here we are multiplying a of I with b of j, and a of j multiplying a of j with b of I, and after that we are just contracting the position, contracting the position of the iterators. So here you take like I plus 1, after that we doing that it will be like I plus 1 and j minus 1, because we are done with some part and we are just recursively going to add the part for smaller parts. So this is recursively happening, and for and we can just memorize the answer for every I and j, and so it will work for the constant value n less than equal to 5000, because here the loop is going n square, so so it is like 2e6, 2e6, yes, 25 into 10 to the power 6 is 25 into 10 to the power 6 is it will be working. So hope you have understand this part also. So here you can see my submissions during the contest. I was very much I've taken very much long time for solving C, and for D I have solved it in very much less time. Yes, I have taken very much less time in solving D, very much time in solving C, and for B I can say that I have no idea that the minimum answer will be the for the equal to the maximum answer. So I have to calculate it and I have to see it that, and I actually have no proof for that answer. So it also took me long for solving B also. Hope you have understood all the solution. If you have any doubt, comment down below and I will be sure to answer you. And please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you like the content and the answers and you have understood the solutions. We'll be meeting on the next contest. For that, tata, bye bye, see you.